Video games. They're a part of so many of our lives that they're no longer just a toy for kids. In the United States, which is near the top of the video game market, 64% of the population in 2017 identified as a gamer. The average age of US gamers was 33 years old for males and 37 years old for females. In a world with so many complex issues, should so many of us be playing video games? There are a lot of reasons to play them, and just as many that should give us pause regarding our habits. Let's take a look at the positives, why we should play video games. Why, in the first place, do we play anything at all? Isn't it just a huge waste of time? A 2001 study in the Journal of Cognition and Culture hypothesized that play itself is something that may have evolved to help advanced organisms. They argue that playing things like chase may have evolved to help young mammals spend their leisure time acting out potential predator-prey scenarios. We may not think about it at the time, but when we play chase with our kids, it often involves imitating some sort of monster and threatening to eat our children. Luckily, the study explains this outwardly concerning behavior as totally sane by virtue of our ability to live in different mental states simultaneously. Let's explain what we mean by this. While children run away from us, they know that reality is separate from the game of chase, so they laugh and smile, while also screaming. Play therefore allows us to explore different possible scenarios, maintain our grounding in reality, and learn without the potentially heavy cost of dealing with a real event. While our brains aren't consciously working out ways to avoid predators, a deeper part of our cognition learns while we avoid our chasers. In fact, this may be a better way to learn than traditional active learning. A host of studies, including one from the journal Social Cognitive and Affective Neuroscience, have begun to measure the effects of our brains learning unconsciously versus consciously. Results showed that when presented with complex tasks like choosing the best apartment from a list, all with different features, we make better decisions when we let our unconscious brain think about it. Whether our conscious brain is distracted by doing simple math problems or shut down because we're asleep, we seem to be better at solving complex challenges when it's out of the way. Many of us know the feeling of waking up having solved a past day's challenge seemingly miraculously. We have our unconscious brain to thank for that. So, how does all this relate to video games? Well, video games both allow us to explore a variety of scenarios in virtual game worlds and learn from them while our brain is relaxed. A virtual world offers us entire new realities to explore and play in. We can act out scenarios that may not even be possible in our given laws of reality. If the virtual world does happen to correlate with our reality in some ways, we can then explore real scenarios without the limitation of gathering and spending resources. Minecraft, for example, lets anyone explore the world of circuitry and microelectronic design with its redstone system. Similarly, the game City Skylines allows any player to build their dream city against realistic conditions of success or failure. In fact, a Finnish city government held a contest to see who could use the game to imagine the best version of a new city they really wanted to build, given the actual geography of the area. The designs were judged by a governmental panel and supposedly considered for actual construction. Real systems that exist in the world can be simplified, so they're much easier to interact with in video games. Overthrowing a corrupt Koopa monarchy is as simple as jumping on some Goombas. Making a sword as simple as arranging some sticks and iron in the right way. Or achieving world domination as simple as playing as Gandhi. Now sure, sometimes oversimplification of complex challenges can be a bad thing, but you'll have to wait until our next video to learn about that. Games also frequently show us our long-term progress in simple graphs and figures, something that humans are typically really bad at understanding. They reward us when we do something good, and lessen the blow of failure. even to the point of rendering death a few-second, no-consequence experience. Video games that masterfully execute the perfect balance of these mechanisms could serve to teach us in more effective ways, let us represent complex challenges more simply, and let us easily explore solution sets to real-world problems through simulation. We may have evolved to have fun and play as an essential part of our survivability, but in a world where we're less likely to die from being eaten by a predator, rather more likely to be killed by the effects of climate change, we should adapt our play to meet the needs of a human-dominated reality. We can, and should, ask more of our video games, both so we can use them to advance the cause of the species, and so that they're just more fun. After all, who knows? Maybe the next time you play Climate Simulator 2030, you could solve the world's problems on a Sunday afternoon and have a blast doing it.